welcome back to the channel. So today's video is just going to be a really quick and easy salad. We're going to be using bulgur as the bulk of our salad, and then we are going to add some extra veggies to it, and of course herbs, because we want to add those fresh herbs in. And if you haven't cooked bulgur, don't stress. It is honestly as easy as making rice. I think it might actually be even easier. So you can find it at any grocery store these days. It is not difficult to find. We're going to be making my version of a tabouli salad. I know some people put onions in their tabouli salad. I hate onions, so I'm not going to do that. And I don't know what the traditional way is. Do you add onions or do you not? But I don't like it. So I'm going to show you my spin on the tabouli salad, and that way if you guys want to try it, you can try it, and you can keep that as one of your staple summer meals because it is honestly so easy to make. Hi everyone, thanks again for being here. So let's just get right into the recipe. This is another summer salad recipe, but it's going to keep you feeling really full and satisfied. Here is the red bulgur that we're going to be using for the recipe. This bulgur is super filling and it's very easy to cook up. It is no more difficult than cooking up rice, and you can pretty much find it anywhere. You could probably even order it on Amazon, I'm sure. A lot of the Bob's Red Mill products are available on there. So yeah, check it out and do keep some on hand because it really is handy. So I'm only using a cup of the bulgur, which is not very much, and this is what I mean. It is actually a really low cost grain to keep at home because you can cook up so much food with very little of the grain. So just 1 cup is going to give me enough to make this whole salad, and just by adding some veggies and some herbs, I've got my complete meal going on. And of course I'm going to be adding some chickpeas for extra fiber and protein. So I'm just going to mix that with the 2 cups of water, mix it up, and I didn't add anything. I guess you could use broth to substitute the water if you wanted to give it extra flavor, but I just used plain water. Now I am going to cook it with the lid on, and as soon as it comes to a boil, you're going to reduce that heat. So you're going to start off with a high heat and then reduce it significantly and just let it cook up slowly. Now I'm using this cucumber. It is a really huge cucumber, so I'm using half of my very large cucumber, and you're going to see it's going to give me a lot. So you be the judge of how much cucumber you need. If you have regular sized cucumbers, you could probably just cut up 1 normal sized cucumber and that is sufficient. So I'm just chopping it up and I'm cutting it into pretty small pieces just so it looks a little nicer in the salad. So I am going to also add tomatoes, but I'm going to add those a little bit later on, and I'm just using cherry tomatoes when I do add them in, but you can use whatever you prefer. And then I have a bell pepper, so I am just chopping up my bell pepper again in small pieces, and you don't have to be fussy about it. I'm just chopping it up really roughly, and that way all the pieces are pretty small and it'll just look nicer in the salad. So I'm adding 1 cup of the green bell peppers. You can use whatever bell peppers you have available to you. If you have red, toss in the red. If you have orange, use the orange, but I happen to have green, so I'm using those up. So really the salad is very green except for the pop of color that I'm going to add in with the tomatoes. So as far as the herbs go, I'm very fortunate that I have herbs in the backyard, so I'm going to be getting those and chopping those up. I'm just showing you guys a really large lemon. This lemon was massive. I don't think this video does it justice. It was really big. So again, be the judge of your lemons. If you have 2 small ones, that would probably equal my large one. So yeah, I'm just showing you guys I'm going to be adding chickpeas in as well for that extra protein and fiber, just to bulk up the salad even further, and that way it keeps you really full for a long time. And I do rinse my chickpeas before I use them, so that's just what I'm showing you guys. And I was just showing you guys the bulgur is almost done in the pot a little bit earlier in the earlier clip, so it is just coming along really nicely, and there it goes. I took the lid off and it's pretty much done. It's absorbed all the water, and now I'm just going to fluff it up and allow it to cool off. You want the bulgur to cool off completely so that it doesn't get all mushy in your salad, because you are going to be adding the lemon as a dressing. You just don't want all that mush going on. So allow it to sit in the pot and just cool off, or you can transfer it to a bowl and it can just do its thing and cool off completely. If you have room in the fridge, if you are in a hurry, then add it to a bowl and just pop it into the fridge, and that way it will cool off a lot quicker. When I make the salad, I usually make the bulgur in the morning when I'm doing my breakfast and getting ready, and then I let it just sit and cool off completely, and then that way by the time lunchtime comes, I could just chop up this stuff quickly and whip up my salad really easily. And this salad is going to keep really, really well in the fridge for many days, and you are going to be able to have it for leftovers, which is fantastic. I was just showing you guys the lemon juice that I have juiced up, that really, really large lemon. And then I also have half a cup of basil, and that's a lot of parsley. So I'm gonna say it's at least 2 cups of parsley that I'm using, but you add whatever you prefer. If you are not a huge herb fan and you wanna cut down on the herbs, then you can do that, or you can add even more, totally up to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the cucumber and the bell pepper to the chickpeas and combine all that. I'm also going to be chopping up my fresh herbs. So I'm very fortunate that I have all these herbs in the backyard in really just in abundance. I have so much that I can share with others. I'm very, very fortunate. We do have a very short window to grow things here where I live, so I do enjoy it thoroughly, and I grow as many herbs as I can because that will cut down significantly on my food costs as well. So herbs can be kind of pricey, so I'm really very fortunate that I have my own in the backyard. So if you don't, and you don't have any neighbors that are growing herbs that are willing to, give you some, then just go to the grocery store and buy some. But again, you don't need to add a ton of it. It's really just for extra flavoring, and, just buy within your means and use as much as you can or you want to. And don't stress about the measurements too much because, again, it's just some added flavor. It is that pop of color as well, but I wouldn't, go too crazy about the measurements. Just use your eyeball and also whatever you can afford. So for those of you that absolutely can't get fresh herbs where you are, because I know sometimes it is really difficult, you can go ahead and add just some dry herbs. That's fine. Use whatever you have available to you. So I'm just going to give all this a nice little mix, and then I'm going to add the lemon juice and combine that further. And I'm just using lemon juice and my, spices. That is it. If you wanted to add oil, you could, but because I'm oil free, I am not putting any oil into my salad. So I don't add the oil because I don't want to add the extra unnecessary calories. It's not going to give me any flavor or change my salad in any way. So I'm just going to opt to not put any of that in. And the lemon juice is so fresh, and it just gives the salad such a pop and, flavorful addition that I think it just works out perfectly just using the lemon. So I allowed my bulgur to cool completely in the pot, so now I'm just transferring it to a very large bowl. If you don't have a super large bowl like me, don't stress, use 2 smaller ones and just do it in batches and just make sure that everything's mixed up really nicely. So yeah, this is it. This is the very simple salad. As far as the herbs go, I used basil and parsley, and then for spices I used garlic powder and onion powder. You can use whatever you prefer and, whatever you have on hand, but this is what I used and it worked out really well. And the flavor was really on point and I was really happy with it. So I'm just adding that in. I'm going to give it a nice, really good mix and combine everything, and then you can just plate it. So I find this salad to be really helpful, especially during the summer, because it can be kept in the fridge, and then if you're in a pinch and you come home after being out all summer, doing things, you have it in the fridge, it's ready to go, and you could just eat it. So having stuff like this that's really filling and satisfying in the fridge, always on hand, will save you from having to buy takeout or, eating something that you really don't want to eat. This is a fabulous dinner or lunch, and it's already ready for you in the fridge. So why not? You can also double the recipe if you wanted to, and you wanted to make it for, work lunches or something, which is what I did. I took this to work for a few days after this. So, and it was fine. The only thing I can say is the tomatoes did get a little bit soft after a few days, but it didn't bother me. If it bothers you, then maybe you have to eat it up a little quicker. So I'm just adding cherry tomatoes that I chopped up. You can use whatever tomatoes you have on hand. I'm adding them in for that, pop of color, because the salad is very, very green and I like to have a little bit of the red tomatoes showing through. You can also add yellow if you wanted to as well. So if you don't have chickpeas, I've also done this with navy beans and it turns out really, really good. But chickpeas, I just happen to really like. They hold up really long, if you're keeping it in the fridge in containers for, meal prep or whatever. Chickpeas work really well, I find. And yeah, the cucumber is still crispy after a few days in the salad, which is really nice. This is just a very simple and hearty salad that anybody can whip up really quickly. So I hope that this recipe was helpful to you in some way. and that you will try it out. And if you do, let me know in the comments below. Let me know, if you tried it, or if you added anything different to it, or if you, took out something for whatever reason. I would love to know what your twist of this recipe is, because again, this is my version of the tabouli salad. Other people make it completely different. This is what I like to do, and I, just really enjoy this very simple and hearty salad. When I have fresh spinach, I will also add a bunch of spinach to my bowl when I'm eating my salad. And then I added this on top for extra greens. Just adding in any extra veggies that you can at each meal is going to be very helpful for you. So I find that adding that spinach will really just give me, a little bit more nutrition and a little bit more substance for my meal. And I really enjoy that addition. So I didn't do that on this day. I didn't have any on hand, but again, if I do have it, I would really encourage you to try using the spinach, because I do eat it a lot with spinach and it tastes so good. So just a bed of spinach and then this on top, it is just 10 out of 10. So I'm just going to enjoy this bowl, and I'm just having some water alongside, and that is it. Just, very simple cooking and fuss-free. This is what I prefer. I don't like, me, I don't like the fussy recipes that take forever in the kitchen, and having something like this is just very simple and satisfying, and this is a great thing to take on a picnic or get-togethers throughout the summer. So yeah, I hope this was helpful to you guys. Stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.